Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the bottom right side as a yellow comet Javon Bolt, we got just.ilom. Spawn on top left side as our orange star Sasha, we got mooji6. Either way, let's go and get started. Sasha does have plus 100 funds per property, so she gets effectively plus 10% increase income. Bolt gets plus 10, so effectively his units are plus 10% more effective. So somewhat even matchup in that aspect. 10% more units versus 10% more effectiveness. This map is a Fog of War map. We do have a black boat on both sides for minor spotting, very minor spotting. And we do have an early APC to follow Sasha, while Vombo has gone for an early artillery piece. Maybe eyeing to barrage one of the pipe scenes, maybe eyeing to push forward. Maybe just trying to barrage down the black boat. I thought I fixed a sound bug, but it looks like this, I've been having issues with sound recording this game. I don't know what's causing it. It's like resources, I think, not being properly distributed. Does throw around onto the black boat there. We do have an initial tank to go out, going forward to capture some properties. Now got our artillery piece here that's probably going to be barraging down the pipe scene. Another tank deployed in the field as well as more infantry. Wow, that sound's really bugging out. Give me a moment. I'm going to try to fix... Oh, great. That's straight up just crashing. Let's try switching the old sound replayer. My apologies. Give me one moment. And yep, I think this is good. Yep. A little bit too a little bit louder, but should be fine. This is the other sound player. I think it's this pros and cons both one. That other one has caused a lot of lag spikes for me. I think it's just resource distribution. This one, yeah, the music's too loud. I think as well, if I don't go too quickly with this sound replay, it cuts out the sound out with the other one. Have the units push way forward. I can never get this sound balancing right as well. Interface volume, guessing that's that, while the sound effect. Let's keep reboot themes on. Recon pushing down south. Do have the artillery piece here. More rounds of the pipe scene. The pipe scene has... I have trouble highlighting it. 55 health. There we go. Not sure why I had trouble highlighting it. Gets good strike there on the infantry unit. First strike of the game. Interrupts the capture there. Another tank, infantry. Bolt now push forward there. Does get a good counter strike there. Putting that tank down to 3 health. That plus 10% extra firepower is very useful. Plus he does have the comm tower. Sasha has her own comm tower as well. Infantry tank. Gets a good strike there. Infantry unit goes down. Puts some rounds in the pipe scene there. Now the pipe scene does get fully destroyed. Recon hitting down south. Does get a good strike on this infantry unit. Tank moving its way forward. This base here is surrounded by mountains, so destroying this pipe scene allows you to reinforce in this direction. But it's equal distance from this base here, so maybe better build units back here and then build infantry units here. Because after all, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's equal distance getting out that pipe seam. But that's triple tank, so don't need to worry about equal distance. Sasha right now does have 18,700, so she has quite a bit of extra income going on in. I'm curious as well. Let me just do a quick check on one of her stuff. She has 18 properties, and a con tower. For the 18 properties, that also includes ones that don't necessarily provide income as well. That number's mostly meant for calculating what's it called? Her name, Kindle's power or superpower. But she probably has what, 17 properties? Yeah, 17 properties would put at 18,700. Bombbolt does in turn 1,600 as well, so Sasha does have great income and even more income. Puts around to the black boat there. Generates some power charge, which she can crash from our crash, but she can save up for a little bit. Battlecopter infantry anti-air, and does a base skip. Total properties being captured there. This is 18 versus 19 properties at the moment. Good strikes down the recon unit. Gotta make sure I don't hit that next turn button too quickly. Battlecopter infantry, infantry, infantry. Gets a good strike on the infantry on the mountains. Capture that property there. Infantry in the mountains doing a good job drawing a lot of fire, but of course it was inevitable going down. Do you have 3 Von Bolt tanks there versus 3 Sasha tanks? All of Von Bolt's tanks are out of vision range, in which means Von Bolt could get a pretty good strike there, though his recons are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these tanks are out of vision range. That's probably why Sasha left them there, to avoid the vision range primarily. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in the vision range. Of course, it was on top of the mountain. Shot against the unit in the mountain as well. Get some good strikes there. Another battlecopter infantry, recon. Bombboat starts to turn 22,000. Probably not going to see a neo tank or a bomber. Artillery takes out the infantry unit there. Wards puts the unit in front of the infantry unit, trying to prevent it from being struck. Rather than doing join and capture, tank in the woods. Recon spot those tanks. Now these tanks will get some great strikes. Battlecopter push way forward. With 2 tanks there, maybe a pretty safe gamble to charge forward into the fog of war. Does interrupt the capture there. Fully stops the capture, gets a good strike there from the city. This tank is in range. This tank is not in range. Yep, had to use that other tank to strike the city. So, could just push forward a little bit with the tanks. Just something to get primed, ready for a strike on the various tanks next turn. This tank could easily be bait for this tank that he knows exists. Of course, got some Sasha tanks over here. Takes out that one, gets first strike on that tank there. And takes out that tank entirely. Thought it was going to be a market crash relatively soon. Great strike on to the piece, and gets a good strike on the tank as well. Mark crash does at least provide her +10/+10. Infantry, tank, and tank. Bombbolt starts to turn with 24,000. There's a possibility of a Neo tank this turn. Let's find out. Overall, Sasha ended turn with 109,000. Bombbolt starts to turn with 80,000. So they're effectively a turn basis. Bombbolt, I think, slightly falling behind, but just only slightly at this point in time. His first strike on that tank, as well as on that tank. And remember as well, Sasha's not getting any sort of power charge, though she did already get enough charge left over for another Mark Crash, so she has that available. Does take a bit of a not great shot there. Artillery gets what damage it can. Just pulls back the tanks, just trying to do what damage he can with these forces that he's definitely going to lose. And putting rounds to the recon is not super important. You have to fully wipe out the recon to deny the capability of a recon, which is to provide reconnaissance. And there is a Neo tank as I predicted. Sasha starts a turn of 25,000, possible bomber, triple infantry, but it's up to her. She does have 800 income lead, so it looks like she's down by one property, has 18 properties versus 19. Takes out those things there, plus also end of the turn on top of a city, getting some forward repairs. Market Crash is available, doesn't need to pop it right now. She could charge up a significant amount of power charge and then pop it later. She does go a Neo tank for herself as well. Storming up north stops that capture entirely. Artillery piece pushed forward. Neo tank coming over here, trying to stabilize that region. This region, Vonbolt has a good presence, but can easily change. It'll be a 9, 8, and full health tank. Recon, battlecopter, infantry. Sasha has 2 reinforcing tanks and the battlecopters, so this can easily swing to her favor. Vonbolt ends the turn of 108,000. Sasha starts her turn of 118 with, of course, her day-to-day income, so she's pretty far ahead. Vonbolt did save a bit of money there, maybe eyeing for another Neo tank. This map is quite large, so the mobility of Neo tanks are quite useful. I think Neo tanks generally do better in smaller maps, able to close distance a little bit more easily. Those are just pushing forward as well. Got infantry, battlecopter, recon. Saves a bit of money there. Great first strike there. Finish off that tank. Artillery piece just creeping its way forward. Wards it. Protects it with some infantry. And looks like Vonbolt's pulled pretty far back. Looks like he's going to just withdraw the other region. Doesn't have... I don't think pulling back the 9 health tank this far back is a good idea. I think falling back to the forest ball would be best. Excuse me. With our cast vision, we know that Vonbolt needs an anti-air up here. Goes for another Neo tank and base skips. Gets trapped. Good strike there. Vonbolt has no anti-airs on the map entirely, so this battlecopter is going to reign supreme. He only has one battlecopter engage the battlecopters. Oh crap. I hit the next turn button. Gotta just... My bad. Or I hit the previous turn button. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air, infantry. Tank is a good strike on the recon. Recon finished off the recon. Puts the tank on top of the city, so now those exposed. Battlecopter heading up north. Neo tank is a great strike on that tank. This Neo tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just out of range. While I'm moving forward to this forest, it'd be a good spot for the Neo tank. She definitely wants to try to get a first strike onto that Neo tank. She's actually pretty close to a War Bonds. War Bonds, if I were to bring this seal chart onto another screen, gives 50% of the damage dealt in funds in return. And doing that against a, against a Neo tank among other engagements could actually be useful. How much is it needed to be useful? Well, if she were to say generate 20,000 funds in one turn, she effectively gets one entire turn in income for free. But it's no gold rush from Colin, that's for sure. But it's a guaranteed plus 50% of your current turn's income or multiple turns' income. Looks like Sasha's rotating forces around a little bit. Push for some tanks. Bombo does have a recon there, which doesn't see it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both of these, all those tanks are spotted. Battlecopter as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So Bombo has pretty good vision there. He could charge into the range of the battlecopter just to get the first strikes on every single one of those tanks. So that infantry unit there gets a good strike. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. And this interior should be in range of that battlecopter. This 9 health tank is still there. Double interior was deployed by Von Bolt, and we do have a War Bonds available next turn. This actually may be a time for War Bonds. Von Bolt is being hyper aggressive. If she pops with War Bonds, Von Bolt will get his Ex Machina. She did end the turn with a little bit high 7,000, and with her Murder Crash, it provides 10 times funds divided by 5,000 percentage of the maximum power bar. So 500 funds divided by 500, which is 26. So they reduce the opponent's power bar by 25%. I think this is a time for War Bonds. Neo Tank's in range of Neo Tank. Actually, just need to get a bit of cleanup there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's time for War Bonds. Let's see. Capture property. Push forward with a bit of scouting. Activated Market Crash. She won in the +10/+10. You gotta pop Market Crash now, the +10/+10, or you do it after you... Actually, no. It didn't matter if you do it before and after because it didn't wipe out Von Bolt's power bar. So doing it afterwards made no difference to do it rather than doing it before. But this may have been the time to do a War Bonds. Let's just keep an eye on this. 161. Good strike there. It's good strikes there. The Neo Tank did not get a first strike in the Neo Tank. It did have on top of property, so it gets plus 30% defense. Tank, infantry, tank. And Von Bolt goes down from 161 down to 134. If it was a War Bonds, it would have provided, let's see, 26, 20, divide that in half, so 13,000 funds? Not really that worth it. So I think Market War Bonds is probably better in a high fund situation. Does that seem like probably, yeah, War Bonds probably was definitely not the call. You have to go to maximum value engagements again if you have a War Bonds active, which she could have popped down a little better on, but now she does still have plenty of power charge for another Market Crash. She can get a chain of Market Crashes to sink Von Bolt's power charge. A number of Von Bolt tanks there. We also got artillery and anti-air. Von Bolt ends the turn for 143. Sasha starts to have 118 and has 32,000 funds in the bank. She can bring something very heavy. She can go for some free power charge to charge up her own power charge up before she pops another market crash. She definitely should pop a market crash. A lot of cases where she doesn't necessarily need the +10/+10. Pops it there. It's actually almost has a massive force up there. She has no real counter. I think she may need to go for Mega Tank or a Bomber. One of the two. She did also get a boosted market crash that effectively reducing Bombbolt's power charge by 30% roughly. Bomber, infantry, anti-air. I think the Bomber is a good choice. She has seen very little Von Bolt anti-air, so the Bomber will do quite good with the Neo tanks. And how much power charge does she have left over? Almost enough for another market crash. So she's getting great chain of market crashes. Von Bolt's being very defensive, or at least down over here. She does have quite a bit of force there. Von Bolt needs maybe another anti-air. Got 2.5 battle copters remaining. And the Bomber is out of range of the Neo tank. She will start to turn 139. Has 22,000 income, so she has 20 properties versus Von Bolt's 19. So there's probably one property that's still despicable neutral somewhere. Oh, she just captured one, so flipped one. Great spot for a recon. Infantry, tank, infantry, battlecopter. Bombbolt has, yep, right now 18 versus 20 properties. Captured up 2 properties there, so it's back down to 19 versus 21. Neo strike, a Neo take on Neo tank, getting a lot of good damage there and power charge. Here could charge forward and gun down the artillery piece, but that means you'll have no anti-air in the region. Recon does go down. He does go ahead and do that. Mark crash is, of course, very much easy available. She could try getting a, I think she should be a bit aggressive. Oh, pops immediately. She knew exactly how much power charge it will remove. I think she still could have been aggressive to get free damage and to keep more power charge going, but let's see what she does overall. Sacks the Neo tank. Bomber nukes the Neo tank. Go strike that anti-air. That's anti-air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of range both the battle. Oh, in range of that battlecopter. Pulling back out of this region. Ends turn of 125,000 with 8,000 in the bank. Von starts to turn of 127,000 with 90,000 bank, so still very even. Just slightly in favor of Von Bolt, though it feels like Sasha has a better grasp in the game. But that's just more of an opinion at this point. Getting a lot of good tank strikes there. Anti-air hits the battlecopter. Try to flip more properties. Picks up that one. And Ex Machina is getting ever so closer, but she has enough power charge for another mark crash, so Ex Machina is still pretty far away. This little bit extra income there will result in additional 5% power charge consumption of the market crash. But that may be going to be her last mark crash. They're getting pretty expensive right now. No, not really. 30 faster for Ex Machina is just 9,000. War Bonds is finally surpassed the cost of Ex Machina. There is a point where she will consume more funding charged than it will take away. But she's doing a great job of keeping Von Bolt's superpower just not available. Pops the market crash. She's also down to 87,000 versus Von Bolt's end of turn of 142. So she's severely far behind. She does have the bomber, which is a very powerful unit. Takes a shot against the anti-air and decides to resign there. This Angrade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay.